Hello guys. So I'm back. It's been a very long time and yeah, I kind of miss doing this. Um, there's a lot to catch up with. Um, I don't even know how to talk in front of the camera anymore. So yeah, there's pretty much, I've been gone for a long time, obviously. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing this again. There's a couple things that I want to update you guys on. But first I'm going to get into this makeup. I really don't know what I'm going to do because I haven't done like a real beat face in a while. So let's see. I don't even know what I'm trying to do, like what look I'm going for or anything. So this will be interesting. I'm going to start off with the Embryolisse Concentrate. You know, the popular one that years ago Pixie Woo used to like rave about. So I'm just going to use this as a base because I haven't really moisturized, which isn't the greatest, but I want to have a good moisturized base for this makeup, even though I'm not going anywhere. First and foremost, I switched jobs. That was great. That was great. You know, the process of switching it was pretty painful, to say the least. But, you know, corny as it is, like, people say, you know, things happen for a reason. And, hopefully, I want to believe that that's true, that there was a reason behind that, because right now I'm in a much better space as a result of switching jobs. Let's see, what else has gone down? I'm just going to go ahead and use this Milk Hydro Grip Primer to top it off. What else has gone down? I permed my hair. Or I got a relaxer. I always say perm. But yes, I got a relaxer. I was tired. I noticed after years and years of being natural, I would neglect my hair just to avoid wash day. And that's not okay, right? If you find yourself getting to the point where you just don't even want to do your hair and like you're finding excuses to wear protective styles only and no one ever sees your hair and you're natural, please, like what is the point of being natural when you're not, you know, doing your braid outs, doing your twist outs, and it causes you stress every time you want to do a twist out or braid out. I love the styles, don't get me wrong, I love the styles, but I just don't have the patience to sit there and do it all the time, you know, on a weekly basis. Like where I'm at, I got too much going on. And so yeah, I went back to relaxers. I mean, I gave it a good shot. I was natural for over 10 years. Okay, and you know, it's 4C, it's, you know, mid back length or whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's pretty thin now. And we'll talk about that. I honestly think it's due to the VSG, to be honest, because I feel like I lost hair from it. Yeah, that's another thing. What else has been going on? All the girls do this like this. What else has been going on? So, yeah, let's talk about my nose a little bit. So, update. I do think that it's settling. You know, like, I'm about 6 months post-op. And I still think it's slightly crooked, but less crooked than the last video I showed you. So, that may be weird, but I do think now it might be, the crookedness might be due to a little bit of residual swelling. One side healing more than the other, you know, things like that. I'm hoping that's the case because I noticed that, you know, it's getting better. It's not as crooked as it was initially. So I'm thinking that as time goes on, we're going to get where we need to be. I do think it looks very flattering for my face right now. And I'm happy about that because, you know, I look at old pictures. And I look at old pictures before my weight loss. And I mean, I didn't grow up heavier. That was something that happened during nursing school, college, and as my depression got worse. So that was all adult depression stuff going on that made me get big. Like once I hit college, it was like, Nathalie's sad. I mean, all the stuff that I was ignoring as a kid that I noticed aren't like healthy, not good things, you know, kind of came up to the surface. And so you can't use the same coping, you know, mechanisms that you used when you were like, I don't know, like 5. I don't know. If you hear any fireworks, it's 4th of July. No, I'm not wishing anyone a happy Independence Day or whatever. I don't care about this holiday. It is what it is. I'm gonna be real about it. Yeah, so anyway, what else happened? So yeah, that's something that has been, you know, a uphill battle with me, but I feel like I have been taking control of my life in every aspect. So, you know, I think I spoke about this a little bit when I got my nose done, but you know, like I'm not looking for anyone's permission to do what I want to do anymore. Like it's negligible. Like I don't care. And it's funny because like as much as so many people told me not to do the nose job, not to do, you know, certain things, don't do it, you're gonna, you know, I have to realize I need to start being more self-assured. And I think like that's something that a lot of women need to like really reflect on, because we are conditioned to second guess ourselves. And it's even worse in Nigerian culture. So, talk about the trauma. I see how it shapes my life every day. And it's a constant struggle to advocate for myself because I wasn't taught to. And I guess that will segue into what I'm talking about, like toxic, like getting rid of toxic people. Lately I've been working on setting boundaries, and honestly ever since I moved out, that was like the first step for me being free and me just kind of like not caring what other people's opinions are, because I'm noticing now that, you know, all the people who told me that, you know, surgery was wrong, or like, you know, people who would probably put doubt on what I'm doing, like everything that I've done so far has been for the better. And I am getting, not that it should matter, but the confirmation is there, because the validation I'm getting now, unfortunately, is a lot better now that I am fixing certain things about myself. Like it sucks, but that is the reality. But at the same time, these are things that have plagued me for years. So first and foremost, it's about me. 100% it's about me. These are all things that I wanted to do for myself. It's not like I'm doing this for a man or anything like that. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with what I see. And I feel like I'm finally getting to that place, little by little. I have been struggling with finishing off my weight loss journey, but I'm trying to give myself grace. And I feel like the fact that I kind of took a step back was helpful. I took a step back and dealt with my own stuff. Like, it's not like I have a following to judge me anyway, but, you know, I don't want someone to stumble upon my weight loss videos and be like, oh, she's still fat, or oh, she didn't, like, what's going on? It's a struggle and it's a constant battle. Like, food is my coping mechanism, duh. So, you know, some people do drugs. Some people eat. So, you know, we all have to deal. So it's about me trying to live a new life that's less maladaptive and more helpful for my mental and physical well-being. So that's kind of what I've been working on, outside of trying to do YouTube. And I've just been working on setting boundaries for myself. Again, I'm going to segue back into, like, you know, toxic people, especially like if you're trying to lose weight and stuff like that, and just anything in general, like toxic family members that always had something negative to say about your weight, or, you know, were never a source of comfort for you. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to express is I'm really a huge fan of your chosen family. Because just because you're blood related doesn't mean that the person is, like, healthy for you. And there's a sense of, I had glitter on this. I'm so sad. I guess I used this for highlighter and I didn't know. Girl, I didn't even wash my brushes. Like, I'm just getting my life together. I'm just started the process of cleaning my apartment. But you know what? This is called recuperating. We're you know, we're putting ourselves together, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna rock this. That's what I try to tell myself now. That we're, you know, we've got this. Everything's gonna be daijoubu. That's probably not even the right grammar. Daijoubu is like, it's okay, or everything's good, or everything's okay. Whatever. You know, something like that. So, yeah, back to toxic people. Like, honestly, don't feel bad, feel afraid, or feel any type of way of, like, breaking away and doing what's right for you. Because at the end of the day, I told myself, like, I am independent. I pay my own bills. What can you do for me outside of that? If I can take care of myself, and, you know, you weren't a source of emotional growth or validation, because really that's what I'm lacking. I look at my life and I'm like, okay, I can take care of myself, so that's not what I need. You know what I mean? Like, that's not with anyone, even if it's like a significant other. Like, are you going to, you know, are you a sense of peace? Being my peace. You know how they say that, like, women should be your peace and all this kind of junk. Well, men should be, or your partner, it doesn't have to be a man, but your partner should be your peace, period. Same thing with certain family members. Are you a safe space? Because if you're not, you're done. And that's where I'm at. That's literally where I'm at. Like, if you don't come to mind when I'm in a jam, or if I'm in a bind and I need help, if you're not a source of, like, oh, you know, I think about them and I have warm, fuzzy feelings, you should not be in my space. Period. Like, if every time damn, these fireworks are going off. But anyway, like, if I'm anxious every time you call me and you're not a sense of peace, you're a sense of anxiety just by seeing your name on my phone. Oh, well, would you look at that? Well, that's my relaxer. You know, it's there. My hair is pretty thin. I think it was from the VSG. Because I don't know, like, it's been a really long time since I've seen my hair this straight. So it's kind of crazy. But I will be now, like, treating my hair, like, accordingly with, like, the proper things that I want to do, like moisturizing weekly, and well, not weekly, I mean deep conditioning weekly, moisturizing daily, all those things that you want to do for relaxed hair to like maintain it. So I'll be definitely doing that, but it's kind of nice to not have to worry about it. Like I can get a sleek style whenever I feel like it. You know, it's not a sense of dread if I want to just quickly do my hair, make it neat. You know, I don't have to wear a wig and fumble. So it's kind of nice. I'm still going to be wearing wigs for like when I want to like put my hair away for a little while, but it's not going to be such a ordeal to do it. Plus, it's going to fit in this wig cap real easy compared to when it was, you know, natural. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. Aries, my puppy, my dog, my pet, my son, he needs to be groomed, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys him. He looks a hot mess, kind of like mother, like son, I guess. But, you know, we're working on it. Another thing, don't mind me, I'm messing with my Invisalign. I honestly think that I'm probably not on the right track because I'm looking at my teeth and I have a bad feeling about about it. I don't think it fits all the way properly, so I think I'm screwed, and I have an appointment coming up, so that's not going to be a good appointment, I don't think. Yeah, but you know, yeah, my teeth have come a long way, even though I haven't been doing everything I'm supposed to do for the Invisalign. I was really freaked out by my relaxer, but I think I kind of like it right now. I think I kind of like it. I just like that it's no fuss. And these waves are just from me, like, twisting it in a bun. I like that I can look a little sleek. But that means now I need to not get fatter because I'm still dealing with, you know, I'm trying to... It's tough. I'm not a runner. I started running. I've been doing better. I've been started running, yoga. I've been trying to, you know, because I need to finish this weight loss journey. Like, I don't want to embarrass myself, you know. And also it's something that I should have already reached my goal by now. I'm more than a year post-op. Like, I should have reached my goal by now, but I'm gonna be real with you. I ate. It is what it is. These are the cards that I've been dealt in life. And so we all get cards dealt, you know, nothing's perfect. So I have to now find ways to combat that, you know. I'm on my own. You know, when you get traumatized, as you know, during your childhood and everything, and you know, nobody gets born in this effed up world without being traumatized. So that's why I think there's like, is this something I talk about on YouTube? I just think there's not a lot of non-selfish reasons not to have kids. That's been a conversation that has been going on Twitter too, but like, once I saw that, I was like, oh, so like other people believe that. Like, this is something I had a conversation with my best friend. And she believes the same thing. There's barely any non-selfish reasons to not have kids. So, for me, you know, dealing with generational trauma and all that, I know from my own personal decision is that the buck stops here. I don't think I'm well adjusted enough to have kids. I think I'm being responsible by doing that, because a lot of people don't care whether they're mentally fit to have children. They just do it because they're entitled. You know, they feel entitled to the kids' time, their life, and everything. And you know, the shit doesn't stop. Like, I'm still dealing with people who feel like they're entitled to my time too. So, you know, it's like constant, you just trying to find your way, build up boundaries when you've been taught that you shouldn't you shouldn't be your own person. You exist to make other people happy, and you're gonna keep trying to find ways to also avoid abuse by falling in line and doing what you're told and all that kind of bullshit that a lot of women especially are like told to be like submissive and like all that kind of bullshit. But yeah, like right now I'm just learning honestly to be meaner. It sounds bad, but that's like the only way that I can get my point across a lot of the time, because people don't take you seriously. People do not. I've been screwed over still constantly. Like, again, my last job, screwed over. You open up your heart to people, you trust them, and then they burn you. And I'm the type, I'm a Pisces, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm getting in my screw everyone else. It's just my circle, and the rest of you guys can, keep your distance, because it's just, I feel like I'm kind of like a woman scorned. So, it's kind of like a constant battle with me trying to put up boundaries, because I feel as though I never had proper boundaries. I kind of was existing in my young life to serve and people please. And so as a result, people in real life are going to mistreat you. Aside from like getting rid of toxicity and, putting up boundaries, other things that I've been doing to pour into myself have been, aside from my fitness, eating well now and all that stuff, is also I've been, doing laser treatments, beauty treatments. It has really helped, actually. So I would definitely suggest it. If you deal with facial hair, body hair, certain unsightly stuff, I would definitely suggest it. So, your girl is spending, because I got this Invisalign to kind of figure out, and I think I totally screwed it up. They're going to be so mad at me when I go, they're going to be so mad. It's not tracking at all. I feel so bad. Yeah, so I've been doing Invisalign, laser hair removal. I'm getting into Botox. I actually have an appointment. I've gotten Dysport before, but I need to re-up on some Botox. Oh yeah, and the nose job is part of that. I am gonna get some body work. That's why I'm like working so hard to lose the weight, because I need to finish that up. I don't know if I'm gonna actually document that though, because again, it's about, no one's gonna tell me whether or not I should do it. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be happy with it, period. And as long as I'm happy with it, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Same thing with the nose, same thing with everything else. I don't care if I have 20 surgeries to get me to where I need to be and where I feel comfortable, because that's what's most important. So I'm gonna do that. I don't have a date yet. We'll see. Other than that, I'm finally doing what I've always wanted to do. I've left bedside nursing completely. That's honestly the biggest thing, and we didn't talk about it like a little bit now that I'm like out of hell. So I've been a nurse for 5 years, and I want to say I gained the bulk of my weight because of nursing. It has been the most, aside from me already having depression in college and stuff like that, a depressed person now going into nursing and not having proper coping skills, and then going into such a high stress job, and in bedside med surge for 5 years, which is what I did. Yeah, safe to say that I was ready to unalive myself many a time, because I was just so done. You know, shifts start with crying, end with crying, and crying in the middle. You know, gray hairs rampant, you know, just stress upon stress. You know, you wouldn't want a nurse that is so, frankly, miserable at their job taking care of you. You wouldn't want that. You want somebody who cares, who's happy. And I do feel like now that I pivoted and I'm doing things that I want to do now, I'm putting more of an effort. It doesn't take much to go the extra mile for people, especially because I'm doing beauty treatments for women. That's a soft spot for me because I want everyone to glow up. I want everyone to be happy, and I want them to have a good aesthetic experience. So now, as an aesthetic nurse practitioner, breaking into the field, it makes me so fulfilled. These women come in feeling insecure, feeling like they're not good enough, and you know, first of all, I'm a hype woman. I will hype you up, you know, because I believe in that. I believe in lifting women up. And that I take very seriously, actually. So I'm always going to be that person. And I've never had a bad experience with a client. And all the clients love me, and I love them, to be honest. So like, beauty, it should be a positive experience. It's not going to be miserable. I'm not walking into someone who's about to code. You know, it's people who are happy and want to be beautiful and are just interested in treatments. So yeah, you know, I'm happier as an aesthetic nurse practitioner than I could ever be working in the hospital. And I can tell you, after working 2 years in the pandemic, I will never, ever, 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 ever set foot into a hospital except if I'm getting services. I'm so sorry. Like the way I felt, there was nothing like that. I realized once I left nursing, like bedside, I realized that level of stress wasn't normal. That level of unhappiness wasn't normal. It was kind of fucking shocking for me. And it kind of makes me sick to think about how long I suffered. Straight up. Like, I'm gonna put it like that. Like, people say I'm dramatic, but that is what it was. I was suffering. And, you know, all my friends told me I can't keep going on like this. My best friend who knows me the best, she knows. She's like, this will kill you. Like, straight up. She said, this will kill you. And this was before COVID. So, after COVID, it was a wrap. Your girl was struggling. I don't really know if I can give tips because really I'm thinking about ways that you can get out of a funk. And it's so hard. It's so hard. And if I reflect back on my life, I honestly think there was no way for me to get out of the funk without some help. And it's okay. It's okay to need that. There were a lot of physical things that were mentally holding me back. And I feel as though taking charge of those things really, really kind of like empowered me. So I just encourage you, especially if you're a woman who hasn't been encouraged to think for yourself, to make your own decisions and feel confident in your own decisions, because I wasn't raised that way either, and society doesn't do that with women in general, but like add the other cultural layer to it, it's a lot. It's even more intense depending on, you know, what culture you're from. So it's a doozy. It takes a lot to break through, and it just took me doing the first step. Like, I want to do this because I want to do it. And that right there, once I saw that it worked, it gave me some sort of peace of mind. So like, I think that's the way you go about things. Like, you kind of just have to prove to yourself that you're not crazy, that what you want to do isn't dumb. And you take small baby steps each and every day to get where you need to be. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get myself together. I'm trying to really work hard to be where I want to be. And I feel empowered because I'm doing this stuff for me. And every time I successfully like finish running, as much mentally, like I'm telling you, running is the worst thing in the world. I hate cardio. I hate exerting any type of energy whatsoever. I like to sit on the couch and eat. Like, but here's the thing, like I'm noticing, and I looked this up, with mental health, I noticed that my old coping mechanisms aren't working the same way they used to when I was younger. So those things change, and then you have to reckon with those feelings that you're trying to suppress. And that is hard. And if you're not actively also putting yourself in a place where you can look at yourself in a mirror, you can look at what you did every day and be okay with it, then that's kind of when you kind of spiral. So that's what I'm focusing on, like each and every day. Like, did I do something? Like today I'm trying my best to be kinder to myself, because like depression's a bitch. Like, my apartment's a mess. It's embarrassing, but I started with cleaning my bathroom. And you know what I did? I cleaned it. I ran today. I'm going to pat myself on the back, because that's not something I normally... My baseline is to do nothing. Is to wallow and just do nothing, you know? Until someone summons my presence and, you know, wants to see me, or like wants to hang out, or like drags me out of my depressive state. So I have to learn. There's a lot. It's loud outside. I'm so sorry. But you know, those are the type of things that I'm learning. Another thing I want to add is I was talking to my brothers, and they both actually mentioned something about making progress equaling happiness. And I think that's what's happening now. I took myself out of a toxic situation. That was step one. I mean, and depending on the severity of your situation, you have to give yourself time and grace. Because, you know, I would say that I'm pretty much, like, I'm a mess. And there's a lot to work on. I have a laundry list of things that I want to work on, and that does make me very overwhelmed and very sad and all that stuff. But where I'm at now versus before the pandemic, night and day. Night and day, I'm telling you. Because I'm like, before I felt like there was no way out. Like, I might as well be, you know, like, honestly. Now I'm able to see some sort of like light at the end of the tunnel, because I'm almost there. And it just takes me putting in that work to get where I need to be. You know, like, I'm on my last semester of school. I'm in a job that I actually like, and that changed my headspace. It's so different now to wake up. I'm so sorry. I haven't even finished my makeup. I'm going to take this Makeup by Mario palette and see if I can finesse something. I kind of do want to do a shimmery look too, with like maybe a jewel tone. So if I can find the jewel tone version of the Makeup by Mario palette, I might like incorporate both. There's so many things I haven't used in videos. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest. And that shows you that I'm a hoarder. Please don't judge me, but I am. I'm a hoarder, and I'm totally aware that I have a problem. But yeah, again, these are coping mechanisms. So I feel like, again, like, people who deal with depression, you have to sort of like give them grace, be kind, because you don't know what people are going through. And people get frustrated with people who aren't very motivated. And honestly, like, it took, like, I'm over 30. Like, it took so long for me to even begin to take charge of my life. Like, please be kind to people. Like, you know, like, we're dealing with a lot. It's crazy. The gaslighting and all the stuff that, I've personally been through. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it had to take a lot for me to start not giving a fuck. Just to start. Because I still care a lot what people think. And I'm going to be honest. This is just the beginning. I'm trying my best to take my life back. And so that's what I'm trying to do. One day at a time. So I'm going to do the Master Metallics palette by Makeup by Mario. And also the Master Mattes. So this is actually a perfect pairing. You get all your browns, all your mattes, and your jewel tones. That's perfect for me. Do what you want to do. And don't ask permission. As long as you're not hurting anyone and, you have good morals and, you're not hurting anyone. That's all I have to say. Like, just don't hurt anyone with what you want to do. Whatever that is. Do what makes you happy and screw everything else. Because at the end of the day, like, obligation, culture, guilt tripping, all that stuff means nothing. It means nothing. Because at the end of the day, you have to go to bed at night and be happy with who you are, where you're at, and all of that stuff. And if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and be okay, no. We're not having that. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. So, that's just how I see it. Like, I have been used to asking for permission, shrinking myself. A therapist told me that I shrink myself. That's like a good word. That's a good word to use. And, I was raised to be that way. So, in cultures that kind of like, being raised by a narcissist and then, an enabler, like, that's a whole other thing, So it's like, these are things that, we work on. But now I'm at a place where it's like, again, like I said before, if you don't emotionally fulfill me in any way, like, what are you here for? Like, honest to God, like, what are you here for? Because I pay my own bills, I feed myself, I take care of myself every day. There's nothing you can give me. So your presence in my life isn't mandatory. You're here. It's like, I listened to a Read podcast, and what's something that kind of like stuck with me was, even with parent-child relationships, like, they say, when you get to a certain age and, you provide for yourself, you do all these things for yourself, your interactions with your family and stuff like that, and extended, whether they're toxic, whatever or not, these are voluntary. They're not mandatory. And I feel like Nigerians don't understand that. They don't. And Nigerian parents are very much feel entitled to your time, your attention, and everything. Just because they gave birth to you. And you were brought into this world against your will. First of all. That's what I say all the time, at least. I was brought into this world against my will. Shit. Do you see the fuck shit that's going on outside? No. Who wants that? I don't. I sure as hell don't. And so, like, that's my thing. Like, I say it all the time. Like, okay, I was brought into this shit show. Of course I'm going to make the best of it. But, this wasn't my choice. Because this place is crazy. They don't want to give you rights. Girl, they don't want to give you rights. But that's a whole other conversation. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I'm done caring. It's kind of exhausting. And I've cared so much for so long. We're not doing that anymore. We're not. So I'm taking the black on either side, defining it. We're going to blend that out at the end. So yeah, anyway. that's what I've been dealing with, dude. A lot of bullshit, you know. Unwanted calls, unwanted interaction with people that are toxic. And, you know, I'm ready to put my foot down. Screw it. Woo. Ugh, the fallout's gonna be terrible. The fallout. Oh, the fallout. But that color is gorgeous. It's something. Very much giving something. It's just such a beautiful shade. I've dealt with a lot of people who've screwed me over in the past. I don't think I should go into detail about that, but in my last workplace, it was not fun. It was not fun. Again, you know, I'm the type of person that's very, like, too nice. Too nice. I let people walk all over me. And, you know, we can't do that. Girls, we cannot do that. We can't do that anymore. It's not acceptable. You know, and I think what, another thing I want to discuss aside from that, like with parenting and everything, I think what a lot of parents don't realize, you know, we make fun of people who talk about, well, you're so old, how long can you sit there and blame your parents for everything and da 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 da, take responsibility for yourself. Okay, sure. Take responsibility. Yeah, we get that. But at the same time, you cannot, like, yes, you should take responsibility, but you cannot ignore the fact that you left your kid with a shit show to deal with. You left your kid without tools to, you know, thrive. And now they have to figure out that on their own because you're not a source of comfort or help for them. So it's kind of like you can blame people for their trauma all you want, but nah. Nah. You set the tone. Like, what people need to realize when you have kids, like, the kids can't engage actively in your, they can't actively engage in the relationship. You set the tone for that relationship. So if you are giving toxicity, they're going to develop maladaptive behavior. They're going to develop things that aren't going, you know, they're going to be fucked up, and you can't just sit there and act like that means nothing. Because, oh, you don't take responsibility. Oh, you're just complaining. Oh, da-da-da-da, victim this, victim that. You know, like, you're victim blaming. People go through shit all the time. And, like, you have to, like, acknowledge it, validate it. Of course they need to, if they're going to keep living, it either you learn to live or you die. That's basically it. Because if you can't deal with the pain, it eats you alive and kills you. So I just feel like you can't just sit there and be super judgmental to people who are, like, dealing with stuff. They were dealt a shitty card. And, like, you can't just act like it didn't set them back. Because, oh, you're just complaining. It sets people back, and that's valid. Now you have to navigate it and figure out a way out. It sucks. And you can acknowledge that that sucks. And that you are, just like how racism and systemic racism works, you're working at a deficit. You're working at, you know, some people are ahead of you and you are trying to play catch up. So as a parent, I would hope you'd want to give them the best advantages possible. Traumatize them the least amount, and, you know, that way they can have a fighting chance in the race. Period. And that's literally all that we can do. Try the best we can. But, you know, you have to acknowledge that you know, if you're just gonna ignore the fact that you set them back, even if it was unintentional, you did it. then that's just living in delusion. Honestly, that's just how I see it. You're being delusional. If you want to ignore the importance of that. It affects people every day. Like for me, I deal with conflict very similar to how I would in my younger years. Like, that's how I learned to deal with conflict. So, what do you think that's going to do? It's not going to be the best. It really won't. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, these are your first, like, you cannot negate and ignore your first relationship, your first experiences, because, like, that's your formative years. You develop your first connections with your parents. So you can say that you're just being a little baby and, you know, grow up. But if we don't reckon with that, deal with that, how do you move forward? I feel like a lot of people just, honestly, I think a lot of people are in pain, but nobody wants to deal with the fact that people are in pain. Nobody cares. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's something that people don't want to deal with. It's kind of like an inconvenient, like, oh, you're Debbie Downer. But it's sad because it's like, well, I'm still here and I still matter. Like, and I think my pain is, like, my emotions, my pain, all of that stuff is valid. Like, right? Like, I would like to think that that's the case for people. That, you know, their emotions, their thoughts, their feelings, they're valid. And so, with anyone, you would want to validate those feelings. My nose has been a constant faucet. And no, it's not, you know, Rona. It's, because I've always tested negative. Fun fact, I've never tested positive for COVID before. So I don't know if I've ever had it. I could have been asymptomatic. But I've never experienced symptoms and I've never tested positive, so I don't know. But with that, I hope it's not a deviated symptom from the surgery, but when I wear a mask, I'm hoping it's just like part of the healing process. I will ask when I see him in when am I seeing him? I'm going to see him in August, the end of August. So I'm going to see my doctor then, and we're going to figure out, like, if is it a deviated septum? It's probably not. It's probably just, like, I need to, like, let the swelling keep going down and, like, you know, and let the healing run its course. I would hope that that's the case. I'm just going to do a wing, because why not? Haven't done a wing in so long. Did you see that? I guess that's kind of cute. Should we make it a heart? Wouldn't that be kind of cute? It wouldn't be as sophisticated and grown up anymore, but I feel like it's kind of cute. Or should I get rid of it? What do you guys think? Make it a heart? I haven't done that before. I'm gonna make it a heart. That's kind of cute, isn't that? It's kind of big, but it's kind of cute. Oh, that's cute. I think it is. I don't know. You guys tell me. I think that's adorable. I wanted to add more shimmer, but there's this really beautiful, I don't even know if Marc Jacobs Beauty is a thing anymore. I don't think it is. I can't remember if it is, but I had the liner in, what the hell is this color? Whirlpool. Ugh, I can't even say it. Whirlpool. I'm dropping pallets. Emergency. So you're gonna hear me sniffling. This is how I am, especially when I wear a mask. I notice that like my nose just drips. It drips like a faucet. So I'm gonna use Whirlpool and just use it on my waterline in the hopes that it's gonna do something. Maybe I need to warm up the. Oh, that's a gorgeous color. This is very pigmented, but it looks like it feels like I'm rubbing a lot to get the pigment out. But once it's on, it seems to be so like it's close to the color, but not quite. But I kind of like it. I like it like this. I haven't worn my makeup this way in years, I feel. Let's get back to being like colorful, like putting something on the waterline, opening up the eyes, like, you know, just different stuff like that. Fun little like colors in the waterline. Like, what happened? We all do soft glam now. And I mean, I love a soft glam look. I do. But like, I miss doing stuff like this. Like, this is cool. I like how it, like, these liners seem to like really stick. I don't know what it is about this Marc Jacobs liner, but it really sticks. It's not like the other ones that it feels like, oh, okay, like this is gonna come off like in 2 seconds, you know? I'm sorry, I'm gonna be sniffing a lot, like I do drugs. Okay. But anyway, I think that's good. I want to try this new liner. I bought a whole bunch of just brown liners, to be honest. I don't know why. Again, I'm a hoarder. Like, ignore me. But I bought some Makeup Forever lip liner. What color is this? Limitless Brown. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to put on my blush. I'm doing everything in a not so like normal order. But I guess it's fine. Who cares, right? I hope I didn't ramble and waste your guys' time. I just wanted to like update you guys on what's going on. Oh, okay, another thing. So can I just fangirl over the fact that they brought back Berserk? I'm telling you. So if you guys didn't know, I got into Berserk really late. Like really late. Like I want to say last year. And I read everything. So I binge read the entire manga. And I finished it literally the week before it was announced that Kentaro Miura died. When I tell you, your girl was distraught. No, they did not make me invested in all these characters. Only for Kentaro to pass away. That was so devastating. You know, I used to wonder, like, okay, when is it, like, what are they gonna do? Like, how are they gonna deal with the ending? But of course, like, you know, and I think that was on everybody's mind. But of course, like, it was just shocking for him to die so young. And just like that, out of the blue, like, and I definitely wasn't expecting that while I was reading, you know, like, whoa. So that happened, but oh, I really like this heart. It may be childish, but I like it. It's adorable to me. But a year later, we back, baby. We are back. And when I tell you, I was so happy. Like, I was so happy. I read those chapters immediately. But those 2 chapters stressed me out because I'm scared. I already know some bad stuff is going to happen. I'm worried about my characters. And, you know, that's just the thing. They make you worry and make you invested. That's just how it goes. But, super excited to be reading Berserk again. And I'm not ready. I feel like we eating real good because Solo Leveling is coming out too. I've almost thought that it wasn't going to happen. I'm telling you right now, I almost thought they were just going to, that it was going to be a long shot, that they weren't going to make it into a anime. But I'm shaking like they're actually going to do it. This is going to be wild. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. What else am I hyped for? Oh, I just cannot believe, like, during my break from YouTube, I kind of caught up with Demon Slayer because I only I only watched season 1 and then the movie. And then once the movie came out, I kind of just stopped watching for a while, and the whole of season 2 came out, and I waited for a long time, and finally I was like, oh, like, duh, let me watch it. Sat there, watched the whole thing. I love Tanjiro. I love them all. I went ahead and bought a whole bunch of, like, a whole bunch of little, like, you know, just gear and stuff like that. It was, you know, just makes me happy. And I'm also caught up with Attack on Titan again. I'm really annoyed about part 3 happening because we all, you know, if you saw my previous video, you already know that I've read the manga, so I already know what happens, and there's barely any story left. Like, why are we doing a part 3? That is ridiculous. But whatever, you know, it will prolong the pain. I'm not in a hurry to experience those things that we're going to experience next year. I'm not ready. There's a lot of stuff I'm really excited about, basically. And I'm looking for more, if anybody has recommendations, not that like anybody watches my channel, but you know, like, I do like to have a dialogue. So I mean, if anybody, like, I'm into true crime, like, extremely into true crime, but I feel like I've watched everything, and literally when I'm home alone at night, that's all I do is just watch true crime. So I'm really, really desperate to find something that will entertain me. Sorry, my setup has probably been moving a lot because things are chaotic. But anyway, found some random lashes just sitting on my vanity, so I'm gonna put them on. So what was I saying? There's a lot of stuff I'm into that I'm really excited about. I want to know if you guys are going to be watching, what's it called? House of the Dragon. I still haven't finished reading Fire and Blood, but, you know, if it's anything like Fire and Blood, it's going to be fire. And I do know that I think they're taking a certain portion of Fire and Blood and covering that. So it's like going to be like just the Dance of Dragons, I think. Something like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, you know. But I am a dumbass and I'm going to go ahead and watch it because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment, and, you know, I'm just curious. I give the things that I love too many chances. We all know how disappointing season 8 was. But, you know, I'm in there. I'm in there like swimwear. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. My dumbass is going to be right there in August. Right there watching with everybody else. So, we'll see. I hope I'm not disappointed. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to, you know, in the nerdy realm. Lots of anime. We're gonna be eating good. We're gonna be eating good. I'm still waiting. I cannot wait until Jujutsu Kaisen comes back too. So I trained my dog to ring. I don't want to use the trigger word. To use. He did it. He's asking me to go use it, which is kind of annoying because I just took him out. But that's his way of communicating to me that he needs to use it. So I'm gonna let him go. I hope he's not scared of the fireworks out there. This time of year always sucks for little doggies. Anyway, I think I'm done. But this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. And I had fun catching up with you guys. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I know we say this all the time, but let me not even promise that. A lot is happening, but once everything gets settled, then I can promise that I will be a little bit more consistent. Okay, guys. It was great talking to you guys. I hope you guys are doing well and finding your own peace and pouring into yourself, because that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, you are all you have. And I will see you guys later, and have a good day.